Welcome to No Ideas Original Podcast featuring Shannon, Mr. Rob, and Zane. What's up, y'all? How y'all doing?
Yo,
How your week been going? Happy Friday.
same to you, brother. It's good. Week has been well. Not too much. Same old stuff, man. Just waiting for my calendar to come. Still
Damn, you still waiting on that countertop?
waiting on the countertops, man.
They must be bringing you like a slab of marble from Italy or something.
Somewhere, son, Costa Rica.
Oh man,
How you been, man?
Cooling, man.
You look like you getting in your almost in your summer Miami Vice mode, Zane.
Who,
See,
me?
Yeah.
Nah, yo, I gotta bring back that Crockett and Tubbs shirt that I wore way back several months ago. I gotta bring that junk back, man. 'Cause that definitely gave me like Florida vibes.
Yeah,
Nah,
Teddy
man, but,
shot shirt.
Hey, made some dinner very early. It's probably the earliest dinner that I've made all year.
Already? Yeah, hold on. You made dinner already?
Yeah, I made it. I finished it, I guess, like 5:30. And you know how like every other week or so, I'll talk about the health thing, trying to chisel down.
Right.
The reason why I did that is because if I eat, I figure
What you make?
dinner and have it done by at least 5:30. That's enough time for my metabolism to break everything down. I don't want to eat late.
Gotcha.
Normally, I'll eat after we do the show. I'll be finished cooking by like 9-10 o'clock, and then when I eat, I feel just like I feel like a slob or something.
It's 10 o'clock.
What you make?
Huh?
What you make?
Made barbecue chicken, made some rice and some nice cheese broccoli.
Oh, okay. So what you've been cutting weight? What you down to now?
Maybe like about 193 now.
Really? Get out of here.
That's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, that's real good. Damn.
Well, hey, I drink at least damn near a gallon and a half of water a day. So
Gotta do it.
Yeah,
but I try not to do too much because if you drink like I say a gallon and a half like every other day.
You're asking for in a
You don't
day,
want to flush out too much nutrients. You know what I'm saying?
you're supposed to drink at least a half of your body weight in water.
Man, today I was I don't know if y'all had a chance to see it, but I was looking at
Half your body weight in water.
Mine.
You supposed hold on. You're supposed to drink half of your body weight in ounces. So if you weigh 200 pounds, you should drink 100 ounces.
Learn something new every day.
Just the equivalent of how much water you drink in a day. So.
Yeah, I was saying, I don't know if y'all had a chance to see, but I was looking at Black Rob's funeral online today. Rest in peace to Black Rob. They had his funeral. Man, I was so disgusted because I looked and there was 144 dislikes.
What?
Yeah, and I was like, why would somebody dislike a funeral video? So I read through the comments and there were people who had issues in terms of how the streaming was set up. And I'm saying to myself, like, how could something that's so intimate for a family that they want to open up and share to the general public, how could people have these kind of complaints?
Because you can't make motherfuckers happy, man. Everybody is so opinionated about certain things. If it don't work out for them, they're gonna have something to say about it.
Yeah, I was just thoroughly disgusted though, man. I'm like, we got to do better than that. People trolls, man.
That crab state of mind. You know what I'm saying?
I agree with you, man, for real.
Trolls. But in any event, we got a good show lined up for you guys this evening. We got the Hemp Source Charlotte joining us. Let's go ahead and bring them in right now. Hello. Welcome to No Ideas Original Podcast. How are you?
What's up, y'all?
What's going on, family?
Chilling. How y'all doing?
All is well. All is well.
We're doing well, man. Good to see your faces. Good to see you smiling.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to B Loud. B Loud's made this possible.
Yeah.
B Loud's in the building, my man.
That's right.
Y'all
got
that. You know what? Y'all got that good Southern glow too, where you getting that vitamin D.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, don't they look good? They shining. Yeah. They got that.
That good Southern.
Let me find out. That's them products you're working with over there.
Oh man. So let's get right to it. What made y'all want to become entrepreneurs? What made y'all want to become entrepreneurs, and why the hemp industry? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? No? Rob, can you hear me?
I can hear you, bro.
Oh, okay. It's on your end. Can y'all hear me?
You guys, we can't.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know why they
We can't
can't.
hear Shannon.
It was so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, Rob can hear me and Zane can hear me, right, Zane?
Yeah, or tell them the other thing. Just tell them to log out and log back in if possible.
Me?
I mean,
Us?
Yeah.
if worst case scenario.
Log out and log back in.
Okay.
I see it. That should help. That should make it work.
But yeah, man, to me that's crazy. You think about it. This man got, I think it had like 4,000 likes or 1,400 likes,
Right.
and
then 144 dislikes.
144 dislikes on a funeral video.
Sometimes people can't hold water, man.
Yeah, what is this world coming to? Okay, can you hear me now?
Here we go. You're good.
Yes.
All right.
Right.
Here we go. So I was just asking you guys, I said, what made you want to become entrepreneurs and why the hemp industry in particular?
Well, I'll let you should start off with that. The way that we got
How
started.
we got started.
It's a funny story. It's a funny story. The couple that owns the company are friends of ours.
Mm-hmm.
And how did you it was something with she.
So we started because we had a hydroponic farm.
Hold on, for real?
Yeah.
And I don't mean, sister, I don't mean to cut you. I don't mean to cut your wisdom. But I've been trying earnestly to get people into hydroponics and aquaponics. And the beauty of that, because if you use those systems, you can grow fruits and vegetables all year round.
Yeah.
You can, and you can grow. You can put it in a warehouse, or you can stick it in your damn closet. But you're growing your own food, and you don't have to technically. I mean, people get used to using the earth, whatever. Nah, go ahead. I just wanted to chime in with that.
That's right up her alley.
That's how we got started. Actually, we were growing microgreens and lettuces, all those different types of things. Actually, in our basement.
Mm-hmm.
And I learned about the North Carolina hemp pilot program, and so it was like the day I found out about it was the day they had like this event, and I met a young lady there who was part of the North Carolina hemp. It's not like a lobbying group, but it's like a lobbyist group. And so she invited me to come to this event for Black farmers. And so
wow.
Event, and I met Armony and Charles Peterson. And so that day I met them. The next day they called and said, "Hey, you guys should come to the house." And I was like, I don't really know these people at all. And so we went out, we met them at their house, and a 30-minute meet ended up like we were together for like 8 hours later. Like we didn't leave their house till like 2:00 in the morning. They had little kids. And so, and by the time we like actually start talking about the overall hemp process, they were already pulling out products that they had already made, and they were already licensed to grow, and and we were just blown away. And they already had their products in production, so seed to shelf was already their way of doing this. And then they asked us to help them open their store. We were like, sure, we'll help. Come paint and clean up. They opened July 4th, 2018. And during their opening, they were like, guess what? You guys are going to open one too. We were like, no way.
We laughed.
And here
that's dope, man.
2 years later. So we opened September of 2018.
Wow.
And it was like we didn't realize it then, but we were being introduced to family, like their family, and then, it just blossomed from there.
Nice,
man. I'm a hemp smoker. I'm a marijuana smoker, so I know a lot of different, man. But
that's why he has on the green outfit today, y'all.
For Fridays, people should wear green on Fridays. But for maybe for some of our listeners, could you explain the difference between marijuana and hemp?
We do it all the time. So this is one of the analogies we use. You have collard greens and you have turnip greens. They're both greens, but they have their differences. So the difference with marijuana and with hemp is basically the THC level. The THC, both of them have THC, but the THC level is a lot higher in marijuana, and the CBD level is a lot higher in hemp. But they're both cannabis, and they both have the same cannabinoid.
Right.
The only difference being is the THC level.
Right. And the THC level is the ones that give you the body effect. Now, what does the CBD do for it?
Oh gosh, it helps with anything from insomnia to joint pain, anxiety.
Right.
You name it.
You name it, it does it, right?
You name it. It does everything. You know, we have a wide range of customers who suffer from anxiety. If they are veterans that are suffering from PTSD, to even children that are dealing with anxiety with testing.
Yes.
So we have a wide range of customers of all ages. We have those cannabis connoisseurs, is what I call them.
Yeah.
Cannabis connoisseurs that are like, that's not the real stuff. And then after I have to explain, it is real. This is not K2. This is not synthetic. This comes from the ground. It is a plant.
You gotta let that be known, man. You gotta educate them, man. Let people know that, you know, because there's marijuana is just gonna have a stigma to it. You know what I mean? And I wondered if that bothered y'all going into it, being sellers of hemp or whatever. Would that some sort of backlash come out of that? Because I could figure that might have crossed your mind at least once or twice.
Not really. Because I mean, there's so many similarities between the two, with the only difference really being the THC level. Like if you take a look at this.
So this is what it looks like when you show it in the camera. I mean, you know,
right.
People always say that look like bud to me. Well,
that look like bud to me.
Yeah, right. And it is.
Right. So are you guys working on your own grow farm for yourself?
For us?
Yeah.
Oh no, it's hard work. No. But we are looking to get licensed, of course.
Right.
To because you just never know what and I will say Armani and Charles have really said y'all need to get it. Y'all need to get your stuff right. You need to get your stuff right. And it has been like I am a processor, so I'm able to process and make products through the state of North Carolina.
Nice.
So
and she does, and she's very, very humble. So, but she makes everything from hemp soap to candles.
So you're responsible for the spa package, then, huh?
Oh, you saw that.
Pet products.
I've been watching.
Pet products. Good, Z.
Now I checked on the website, and it shows that you guys have a loyalty program. Tell us how that works.
Well, anytime you make a purchase over
$35.
$35, you get loyalty points, and you can, as you make your purchases, the loyalty points grow, and you can actually redeem those loyalty points for products. Let's say that we have some people, they just continue to let the loyalty points grow, and we'll tell them, hey, you got $50 in loyalty points, and then they can use it to purchase products.
We charge them $300. I'm just kidding.
A higher premium, huh?
Oh man.
Go ahead, Scott.
I heard you mention about licensing. Like, what other regulations are associated with owning and operating your business?
So, for those that don't know, hemp is legal in all 50 states. And I know everyone is rushing in on this, the marijuana, got to get in. I will say, with the Hemp Source, we do offer franchise opportunities. So if anybody's interested in franchising, we definitely do that. The only thing that you're required to do in the state of North Carolina to grow is you have to have all your paperwork in order. And what that means is you have to have at least 2 years of farm income. You have to have somewhere to grow. They were talking about changing some of the laws because in the beginning they had the whole thing about you couldn't have a felony. So who's not set out. And so those are one of those things that we are really working on to help people get involved in to become growers. It is cannabis. It is not, I always think of when I hear about people applying for the marijuana licenses and having over $2 million in assets, in other states just to get in. And with hemp, you don't have to. The only thing is your products have to remain below that 0.3%.
And that's here in North Carolina.
And federally, 0.3% THC. They have let the dry weight, and when I say dry weight, that means after the plant has come out of the ground,
right.
Because we can't control what the Lord is doing with the sun. So some of the things are like, the THC level does begin to spike, and so a lot of farmers were losing product because if it spiked above that 0.3, they had to get rid of it.
Oh,
so it is a situation, and a lot of farmers that look like us, farmers of color, it was one of those situations they were a little hesitant to get in.
Okay, that's the part I'm talking about. Because they look at us and be like, yeah, they about to put it on the corner. We ain't putting it on no damn. We're trying to save lives out here, man.
Exactly.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I know the product itself. And you say, sis, you said you're a processor. Man, there's so many things that you can do with this product. I mean, hemp allows you to make paper.
Right.
If anyone doesn't know, paper, our money was made out of hemp years ago.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes. A lot of
come to find out, our illustrious George Washington was a hemp exporter.
Yes.
along with the slaves he had too, but that's another story.
Yeah.
One of the things I like about hemp is I like the textiles. Now I remember back in I think it was it Sandy Hook? No, it wasn't Sandy Hook. It was Katrina, and the recovery efforts of trying to build people back their homes was just eliminated. But someone found that Hemp Creek company to come back and just buy up some land and start building homes. I was like, well, why would they want to use Hemp Creek? Now, Hemp Creek, the cement blocks that it uses, it absorbs so much heat, but it keeps the house cool. And then when in the cooler days, in reverse osmosis, where it traps the heat while it eliminates the cold air or keeps the cold air outside. What other things do you guys look to bring to the table as far as hemp? And what's in your hemp box?
Oh boy, it depends on which one you get.
Oh, okay, yeah.
She'll throw something together real nice.
Yeah.
So, just to answer your first question about the other uses of hemp, including, like, it's the only plant that can feed you, clothe you, and house you, right? It can do all of the things. And with the Hemp Creek, that's a whole nother aspect. So when people ask, I want to get in, I want to do this, I want to get in. What do you want to do? It's like, what part do you want to do?
Right.
And, some people say, you guys make it look easy. Well, we try, but it is so much involved because you are an entrepreneur. You have to,
right. You got to cover all your bases.
Yeah, you got to cover your bases. So, like you were saying with the Hemp Creek, that's major. One of the a few industries are very afraid of hemp, and
especially the pharmaceuticals.
The pharmaceuticals and the plastic.
Putting them out. I see hemp putting them out of business. Keeping it real.
Yeah,
seriously.
So pharmaceuticals, the plastic industry, because hemp, as you know, is biodegradable. So there, containers can be made out of hemp, which means recycling. It can just go back into the ground. All of those industries are really afraid of what hemp may do to hurt their industries.
And you know what? I just learned this too. Another industry that they're creeping on is the automobile industry. Now I didn't know Henry Ford back in the early days built the car, but for mass production of using metal and iron was so abundant that they put that to the side. But there's an engineer in Canada who's building a car now called the Kestrel or something like that. And he's getting a lot of people focused, like, hold on. Because now the war is between the fibers of cannabis and fiberglass.
Yes, right.
Most cars are used. Fiberglass is used to build cars now. If they start using marijuana to build cars, it's a wrap. Son.
Talk about riding high. I'm telling you.
Yo, listen. You got a hemp built vehicle that runs off of solar power. Like you're running plant. Like, come on, man.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't realize that BMW, some of their cars are made, their insides are made of hemp. A lot of people don't realize that, but they've been using hemp for a while.
Man.
You mentioned farming income. You said you had to show farming income. Is there like a threshold? Do they ask that you have a certain amount of farming income that you can show?
So in the beginning, there was I think it was $2,000.
Oh, okay. That's reasonable.
Consistently. And I can say those, I don't know if it has changed, but I know it has changed, because when the program first started, there wasn't a cap of income. And a lot of people got in saying they
grow trees.
They grew, you're a tree farmer. Yeah. You definitely, that's farm income. Yeah. But they would say, oh, they made $5. So a lot of, so that's when it was like, okay, wait a minute. Then the state was like, we got to put a cap on actually showing this farm income. So, I could say it's so many people in now that are processors, and unfortunately, a lot of people have dropped out because it's not a cheap crop. It's expensive. It is. Right. It's a crop. It is. That's just what
it's agriculture. Yeah, you can't.
Yeah.
So with that being said, I guess what are some of the challenges or obstacles that you guys have had to overcome to make sure that you were able to stay in it?
COVID.
Well, how did that affect you guys?
Well, this woman here adjusted and shifted to the point where it was almost like it didn't really affect us. She made it where we were basically doing everything. We're still doing everything curbside. Like nobody comes in because I got to make sure she's okay. We got to make sure that we're okay. But she's adjusted to the point where we can do everything curbside. So that helped us with the COVID.
Okay.
With the whole COVID situation. So, I mean, we're just making it do what it do, really.
Yeah. Then on the farming side, your question about what happens, the headquarters is located in Wendell, North Carolina. So we're actually in Charlotte. And Wendell is a small town. Well, it's not. It's growing. A small town out of Raleigh. Raleigh is a state capital, and so the farm is located there. Harmony and Charles are they're that's their thing. We have been to the farm. It's hot, but they do indoor and outdoor grow. Now, when I can't remember which hurricane came through. One hurricane came through, and what happened was a lot of the crop.
Oh man!
Right?
Wow!
But here's the biggest problem about that. It's not just the crop was damaged, but at that point you couldn't get agricultural insurance. You couldn't get crop insurance.
Because of natural disaster?
No, because it's cannabis.
Oh,
a lot of it's changing now. So a lot of insurance companies were like,
a little iffy about it. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. So think about that. You're like, it is a crop. It's not strawberries. No, it's not collard greens. But think about those farmers that do farm outdoors, and if a hurricane comes through and takes your crop away, and you don't have insurance.
Yeah.
Wow. Seeds are very expensive. Like I saw some seeds were like $8,000.
Damn. $8,000?
Yeah, I mean it's expensive, So now a lot of people do cloning. They buy the clone, plant the clones. So what I do know from with the Hemp Source, we do indoor and outdoor grow.
I was going to ask that, man, because with hydroponics, you can do that in your house, man. So you get a large enough facility, and I've watched some cannabis growers. They've all grown indoors.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, they got the lighting, they got the fans going. They make sure the humidity is right.
Your electricity bill.
That's right. Use solar panels. You use solar panels, it might be worth it.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. So yeah, so all of that is definitely it. So another challenge, or one thing when you were talking about the boxes. So that's how the boxes came about, because during COVID we had people ordering like a whole lot of stuff. I'm like, good
Right.
grief, because people were home with their spouses, they were home with their kids, they were home with their dogs. They were like, I can't take it no more. And so we came up with the subscription boxes. And so in the box is a variety of options. So like the spa box, the Into Him box, which is part of our male line of products.
Nice.
And then we have the pre-roll box, which always sells a lot of the team box.
That's the box I want. The pre-roll.
We got
there we go. So, yeah. So that's how that works. And on the if you subscribe for the 3 months, 6 months, and 12 months, you do receive a discount on those. And we ship it out. You just tell us what day you want it shipped. You do a 3 month, it's 10% off. 6 month, 15, and 12 months, you get 20% off the cost of the box. And each month the box is $25. So
very reasonable.
Okay.
Unless they do a custom.
Unless you do a custom box. So yeah.
So okay.
Like our 150 milligram oil, you get the tincture oil, you get the soap, and you get a pain salve. So if you do it for 3 months, I think it comes out to be about $60.
Wow.
Bottle does last you for a whole month. So for example, like you'll take the oil, every day for 30 days, and you're like, it's time to re-up. So we will send you your box.
Send it right to you.
And you get your 20% off the cost of the items in the box.
Yeah, that's very affordable. 20.
That's really, yes, son.
Yeah.
I like that, son. Are y'all just at one location right now?
Yes.
He's like, yes, and one location is enough.
One location is enough, right?
Yeah.
We are at one location, but we do service all of the Charlotte and surrounding areas. We actually have people that come from far. One thing about our location, we're close to the airport. So when people get off the airplane and they type in cannabis, it's like, oh wow, they're right there. So we get a lot of people from other states coming in, and then we have to explain that North Carolina is not a medical state. Like
right, it's TBD state.
Right, so this is what it is, and they appreciate that, and they do purchase, and so which is cool because they couldn't bring it on the plane. They just needed something to get them through, and we're not far from downtown Charlotte, so we get a lot of corporate people.
Yeah. It's a life out there, son.
Right.
They be the main ones.
Right.
They be the main ones.
They're the main ones.
Can you briefly tell us about the GMP standards?
The standards?
Yeah, as far as like the good manufacturing practice standards.
So like I said, everything is done in headquarters in Wendell, North Carolina. So once we receive the products, they already come sealed, packaged, and labeled. So this is what it all looks like. If you haven't heard about Delta 8, we can talk about that too. But everything comes already packaged. Everything is processed inside of a clean environment. Also, it has been code. We have to abide by the codes. We wear gloves all the time when we handle loose flour. When they process in Wendell, everything is packaged and it comes sealed. So everything is sealed and has QR codes for like testing results and all that on the product and on the packaging.
You got everything you need.
Excellent.
Now, did I see on the website like edibles and like cereal and stuff like that?
Yeah. Yes.
A cereal? Hold on. Somebody go food shopping.
That's some real Lucky Charms right there. But yeah, I'm amazed because when I was going through your website, I was like, okay, pet products. I've never heard pet. Can you talk a little bit about that? Like, how'd that come about? That was the first time I've ever seen that.
So our pet products, we sell a lot of pet products. A lot of people don't realize pets have the same receptors as humans.
Talk about it, sis. Talk about it.
And so, like, when you hear a thunderstorm coming, usually you see animals already getting prepared, right?
Mhm.
Right.
They sense it more faster than we do. And so with those receptors, you know, dogs will start circling or looking for places to hide, or their anxiety kicks in. And so what hemp does for the pets, it helps to calm them down as well. So pet treats, we sell a lot of those. We have once another airport situation, people that, you know, put their dogs in the kennel when they're about to leave.
Oh, that makes
Now,
sense.
they buy the pet treats just to keep them calm. People that
To
take
get
their
them to the
to get them right, to
just
get them to the kennel, right?
The dog
just to
knows
get 'em-
what's up.
The
It's like,
dog, right,
where we going?
right. The dog knows what's happening. We get a lot of people that when Christmas time
Yeah.
and Christmas time and hurricane season, our pet treats are flying off the shelves, because the hurricane, like they sense that happening.
4th of July.
4th of July, oh, fireworks.
Yeah, fireworks get the anxiety through the roof, man. So I can imagine. Cats, for cats and dogs, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So like the cats, the cat people are steady coming through too. Yeah. But even like Christmas time, because if you're having like a Christmas party, you kind of come, you don't want your pet to jump up on, you know, people. So people just put a little bit in their food, or you just give them a pet treat, and it helps with pain. We had a lot of our customers who have older dogs
Arthritis,
suffering from arthritis. So what it does for humans, it does the same for pets.
That's a
We all have
fact.
endocannabinoid system.
Yeah, and it's right, because I know I go to dialysis, and I know when I come home from dialysis, I'm very lethargic. Sometimes I'm nauseous, and you know I might break something up, blow something real quick. All of a sudden, I'm like, oh shit, okay,
I'm good.
Am I right? We're gonna make a sandwich now. And you know, my reason for doing it is for the nausea, a little bit of the insomnia too, man. It kind of just balances things out internally that I probably just couldn't do on my own right instantly. So I enjoy the products. I'm a part of a dispensary here for medicinal use only, and it works, man. And they talked about that $2 million in profit in farming and all that before you get licensed.
Yeah.
And all that, because out of the 3 states here, I mean, New Jersey is recreational legal, so is New York.
New York too.
Connecticut is just medicinal. They haven't gotten to the recreational part, but some of the pharmacists there said that they're gonna be looking for grow farms here in Connecticut, because it's gonna start to grow.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about the Delta 8 THC.
The Delta 8. Well, I just sold some, and we were closed.
We're closed. Like,
wow.
We are so
Delta 8 is it, huh?
Yeah. Delta 8 is that's the new move. That's the new move. I really can't say much about it other than everybody that tries it, they come right back. I mean, they come right back. Leslie was telling me the other day, this guy came, oh, I'll try it. Came back, 2 days later? Like, consistent.
That's what he wanted, that Delta 8.
He's like, you got that chocolate? He's like, yeah.
Calm down.
That's the best seller.
Delta fly away.
You might have to put that Delta 8 soaps and lotion and everything, toothpaste.
Well, the funny thing you
thing
say
is-
about toothpaste. Since you brought up toothpaste, no. But yeah, the Delta 8 is like ridiculous.
Yeah.
I just had a couple. They came and she was like, "I'm gonna smoke my pre-roll." I was like, "Sister, you gonna have to calm down."
She'll call him after
Don't do it all at one time.
Right. Take your time, boo.
Just take it. Let it, enjoy.
Let it marinate a little bit.
Right.
It's just Friday at 2:00. Like,
Oh man.
Wow.
So it is Delta 8 is one of those. It is part of the cannabinoid wheel. So you have the Delta. So what they test for when you're on the THC level, they're testing for the Delta 9. So the Delta 9 is what the THC level is what they're looking for. when it comes to hemp.
Okay.
Is that going to change? Probably.
I'm sure it will.
So yeah.
After a while, it's gonna be, like prohibition and alcohol. I believe hemp, marijuana, whichever you want to call it, is gonna follow them same guidelines.
Of course.
And I honestly believe this is our reparation. We need to get on board with this hemp because there's so many things you can do about it. We talked about just a few things as far as production. And what I've learned is, if you get an acre of land can produce you about 30,000 pounds marijuana. Now you use that math if you got some property and you're working in a rope industry, just say, and you're just making rope. You know what I'm saying? Or if you're making plastic. Remember the first I read that the first pair of Levi's
was made
from hemp. So there's so many different industries, and not only even that, in the fashion industry, hemp works well with cotton and silk. I knew that. I didn't even know that.
That's that hemp made.
Oh wow!
Come on, son.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we're people of fashion, as well as there's so many different avenues, man. And to think about the content of some hemp is good in vitamin A, vitamin B6, vitamin C, vitamin E. Got copper, it got minerals in it, copper, manganese, potassium, sodium. It's a wonderful product, man. I think we need to get our hands on it the way you guys are getting your hands on it, man. So God bless you.
Have y'all thought about partnering with like other industries, like massage parlors for massage creams and things like that?
We've done it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Nice. Got it going on over there, Cap. You got it going over there, son.
Yeah. We do everything. We're trying to get in there any kind of way we can.
Yeah.
We actually, because of COVID, we had to shut down our spa. We have like a massage room.
Wow.
Okay.
And because I'm a germaphobe, so I'll just put it out there like that. But we use the oils, and people use the oil and calm them down. We've done hemp yoga. We had a hemp paint and sip. We've done. We had a 420 dinner with all the foods infused with hemp. I'll just say it was a real cool experience.
Oh, yeah.
By the time everybody left, they were like, "Hey,
that was a good dinner."
It was a good dinner. So so those are we do have those partnerships available, and continuing to flourish with those. One of the newest things that the Hemp Source has introduced is the Doja Lounge.
It's up to change.
I don't know with hookah.
Okay.
Have the Doja hookah.
Wow.
So it's nicotine and tobacco free. And so we have.
Y'all gonna have people in there. Woo-hoo.
Yeah.
Right. So this is the inside of the container. You get the charcoal. There's and so it's all hemp.
Wow, that's dope.
So Doja is part of our. When I say we doing everything, we trying to get everything.
Yeah, we trying to do it.
So that is the Doja Lounge, and so we're actually sitting in our back room, which is part of our because of COVID shut us down to have people in the lounge area. But Doja is available. We actually are doing this whole set. You get your hookah, you get this, and you get a membership card to the Doja Lounge. It's $80 plus tax, including the hookah. And then the membership card comes with it. You get 10% every time you buy Doja products. So
I need to make my way down to Charlotte. I think I need to make it.
Man.
Come on. Hey, look, we right by the hemp. As soon as you get it.
Man, you know what? I love how y'all, the diversification, the ideas, and just the expansion and the vision that you all have. And then the other thing that I'm loving about this is that you two make a wonderful team. Like it's just that you guys are it just naturally goes together, so I love this. I love seeing what y'all doing. This is beautiful right here.
Thank you. He stalked me since college. I finally stopped.
Listen, when you own it, that's all right. That's all right.
I'll go with that story.
That's all right though. That's all right though. You ain't take your eye off the prize though.
It worked out for him.
Hey, look, I got her.
I got it. That's right. That's right.
Oh man. Yeah,
Yo,
Z.
hey, yo, K, your man B. Lau said that chocolate, yo. What's up with that chocolate B. Lau's talking about?
Oh, yo, he got it. He got that Delta 8. He got that.
He got that Delta 8.
Got that Delta 8.
Yeah, we have the Delta 8 in so this is the Delta 8. It comes in milk chocolate, dark chocolate, and white chocolate.
Nice.
And like I said, it is Armini, who is the CEO of the company. She is the mastermind behind all these products.
Yeah, seriously.
So
right.
She has like when I talk about like mathematically, like make sure everything is safe and everything has been labeled correctly and tested, because everything has to be tested, right? Mm-hmm. So everything has to be tested before it comes out of
right.
The farm. It comes from the farm. They test it there. Then we send it off. It gets tested again to make sure it's that 0.3 THC.
Stay under that number, yeah.
Yeah, so everything that you see is it is hands on. There's no factory. Like
no, it's seed to shelf.
Like
literally.
We fill the bottles ourselves. It's like
now that's perfect. That's perfect for people to know that, man. So they know that nothing's been tampered with.
Right.
What's that?
So, yeah.
How does that the third party testing, how does that work though? Is that third party testing like by somebody, I guess, that you guys have identified? Is there some like regulation that says that the third party tester has to be somebody that's identified by the state? Like, how does that work?
Yeah, so there's a gentleman, he's based in the Raleigh-Durham area. Very cool dude, and I'm pretty sure is a millionaire by now because everybody goes to him. But everything has to be, run through and tested. It tests each of the cannabinoids. So you get, like on the QR code, like I was saying, the QR code that when you scan it, it shows the percentages of all the cannabinoids. And when I say cannabinoids, I mean like the CBD, the CBGA, the CBC, like all of those are
CBGA, right.
All of that is tested in the flower, and then it's broken down by the percentages. And so so all of that it is required. I always tell people when they're like, "Oh, I bought this flower from so and so," I'm like, I don't know about that.
And they can't stand behind their product like we do.
And we always get people when we first open, and even now we get people that come to us daily trying to sell us their product because such an influx of people growing, they didn't have anywhere to put it. So by having somewhere to put it has been a great thing. So a little bit about Armini and Charles. Armini's father is a tobacco grower, right?
Okay.
So tobacco, think about that. So I think they get maybe $2.50 a pound.
Something crazy.
But when you go into like the bodegas and you see how much cigarettes cost, that farmer is not getting any of that money, right?
Yeah.
So she learned from what her father was going through, and then put it into form with him, right? So if you control the grow and everything, and you can put it in place, then it's gonna be a greater experience. So that's why we're a seed to show. And yes, the testing is important. Everything is tested. It has to be, because we're licensed by the state of North Carolina to do this. A lot of people don't know that when you go to a CBD shop or a smoke shop, those items should have been tested. They should be tested. Not saying that they're not, but we actually see it from beginning to end. We see it from beginning. So
big shout out to CNOS 301. He asked, "Is the tester hiring?"
That's my brother-in-law. That's my brother-in-law. He says the tester hiring.
So the testing is a machine. It's not like somebody actually.
I'm guessing he feels he can replace the machine.
I do like that term, seed to shelf. It almost familiar with farm to table. which is a good way to promote a product. Are your guys familiar with the show Bong Appetit?
Yes.
Oh
Yeah.
They get down, yo.
They get busy in the kitchen, brother.
That's the one Khalees, right?
Huh?
That the one with Khalees, where Khalees used to be on?
Was Khalees on there?
I think so.
Different.
No?
Yeah.
Or was it a different one?
It was
No.
a different one. Khalees
Okay,
was on
'cause Khalees-
Netflix. Yeah.
Yeah, Khalees had one too.
Shout out to Khalees. Call us, girl.
Yeah, that show was dope, man. These guys,
Yeah.
they put some great meals together, man. But of course, they use Delta 9. They use all of their shit. They use everything.
Right.
Yeah, they not playing.
Yeah.
They're not playing, son. You can eat a
You
steak.
can definitely cook with him too. You know, like when we had our 420 dinner, the young lady, Kendra Jeffers, she is like the cannabis queen in North Carolina. But she
Nice.
has really she actually helped pave the way a lot too for all the legislation, because her daughter suffers from a neurological disorder,
Right.
and the cannabis helped to control her seizures.
Mm-hmm.
And so
Right.
she just learned and taught herself over.
Just like Qua said, a lot of them cannabinoids are right up here in the brain, man. And that's probably what the first place you feel it.
Yeah.
In the meridians in your joints. It's the reason why your limbs get a little relaxed and all that. Let me ask you something. Y'all ever thought about getting into crystals?
So are you talking about the dabs, or are you talking about crystals?
Crystals, not dabs. Oh, we talking about something else. We talking about dabs. But crystals like amethyst and them type of things.
Yeah, so we no, not in the store. I'll say
Okay.
that. We stay true to the brand, right?
Sure.
So we don't when you come into our store, you see our brand, right? It's sort of like when you go to Banana Republic. You see Banana Republic stuff, right? You don't see Sears. Well, you won't see Sears anyway. Sorry, but you don't see other brands in the store.
You.
So
Yeah, quality control.
Yeah,
Right.
quality control.
Right.
Yeah, quality control.
Yeah, everything is what it is. The only outside brand that we have is really our hemp wraps, but it's from one of the major companies. But everything has been touched and sent from headquarters. Like we don't have any outside vendors or anything in the store.
Which makes it easier for us to stand behind our brand, because we know that it's quality.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of the different, the various products that you guys have, the oils, the soaps, and everything else, what are the price points for the different items?
For you, $1,000.
Wow.
Charge him, babe. Charge him.
The shortest podcast we ever been.
So for our edibles start as low as $1. And those are our mints. So our mints are $1 each. They're 5 milligrams, but don't sleep on them. Although they're small, they still pack a punch. So our edibles range from $1 up to $20, and it's based on the milligrams, right? So anything with the milligram, like our tinctures start at $25, which is the 150 milligrams, and goes up to 150, which is for like the 2,000 milligrams, which is the strongest that we have in our store, but we go up to 4,000.
We can do special orders as well.
We do special orders. So 4,000, 4,000 is a little strong. That's for someone that's really suffering from, all kinds of really bad pain.
We had a customer. He had the brain.
Oh yeah, we had a customer who had an issue with his teeth and his nerve. He had a nerve situation. So he did 4,000.
He had cavities. That's what he had.
yeah, more than cavities.
Yeah, cavities eating that chocolate.
Yeah. So, and then with our flour, we have our house up to our premium elite, and pre-rolls and grams start at $10 and go up to about 16
a gram.
A gram, yeah, 16 a gram. And we sell a lot of everything, so, which is good.
Now, see, based upon that, that was a perfect segue for my next question, because I see that you know, there's a whole bunch of different locations out of North Carolina, and then you have 2 locations out of Alabama. Now, based upon the geographics, do you find that other items do well more at other locations than others?
Yeah, so you know, with us, we're just in our little nutshell, and can't really speak about how Alabama and Wendell and Wilson and all and other stores are. What I can say is we're the largest city amongst the Hemp Source brands.
Okay.
So what that really means is of what I know, we're the maybe 1 or 2 people of color that own a hemp dispensary.
Right.
But the smoke shops have oil all day, right? And the vitamin shops have oil all day.
They can't tell you nothing about it.
Right.
They got it.
Right.
They'll sell it.
Yeah.
But they don't know where it came from.
Right. But what I will say is, like, the smaller towns do well. Like a Wilson, like Wendell, like, you know, the smaller towns. Some days I'm like, how they sell more money? But that's because you gotta consider we're in Charlotte, right?
Right.
We're in the south end of Charlotte, where, you know, around the corner from us, they're like $1 million houses, you know. But for them, if they're familiar with like one of these well-known brands and not so much us, they're gonna go with the well-known brand. But then they see us out and they're like, okay.
Once they get us, we got them.
They're like, okay, this works. That one didn't work. So we don't shun any other company. It's just that what our product is as pure as it can get. There's no additives. There's no flavoring. It's not the best tasting, but it does what it's supposed to do.
Exactly. It does what it's supposed to do.
So to answer your question, you know, it just depends on location, but that's with any business. Location.
True, yeah. So what do you do for promotion and advertising?
So we go on y'all's show.
Nice.
And
that's right.
we now I will say when we first started, that was the hardest thing. It was the marketing was hard. Why was marketing hard? Because it is cannabis. Got our biggest marketing break was with the billboards, the electronic billboards.
Oh wow!
Okay.
Which was so cool because I don't know if you guys know this. Some of those electronic billboards are like privately owned.
Okay.
So people own them and they control what goes on their billboards. And so we did that for a while. You would think urban radio would embrace us.
No.
Not so much.
Nobody. That's what I'm saying. Nobody wants to touch it.
Yeah, I mean,
it's getting a little bit better.
It's getting better,
but
when
we started, they were like, "Oh no."
A lot of Instagram. We got shut down on Facebook a lot.
Wow.
Which doesn't make sense because now when you go on Facebook, you see
it everywhere.
Everywhere. Yeah. And so it really makes us feel bad because we were doing it. You know, we weren't like flashing and rolling and all that stuff.
Right.
So when Facebook came to Charlotte, I had this talk with him like, "What are y'all doing? You keep shutting our page down." You know, and Harmony was going back and forth with them like, "Stop shutting it down. This is legal." Like, so educating on every aspect of, you know, or marketing on everything was, you know, Instagram was a little bit easier, although it's still owned by Facebook. Instagram has been our friend. We do a lot of card passing out.
Well, I was going to say, locally, did you give samples?
Samples? We were broke. When we first opened, we do. We you know, we do a lot of specials on our Instagram page. And we do, so we go to like when there are outdoor festivals and stuff, we do those. Yeah. We get a lot of people like when we do like the beer fest, because we're like a large beer community. So when the breweries are having events and stuff, we'll ask, can we come and tag along and
Pull the
Those
table
are
up and set up shop.
usually like those are when we like run back to the store to get more product.
And I read somewhere that they're starting to find a way to put the CBD or even the THC or hemp marijuana, whichever, into beverages.
Yeah,
It's funny, and it's funny you mentioned you're in a beer distributor environment. Start looking out for that, man. That's starting to take a big buzz now. Them putting it into, they trying to put CBD into the water now.
Yeah. There's a brewery in Asheville, North Carolina that we get our hemp beer from. And so when we had events, we would always order hemp beer from them. But yeah, a lot of people too, Friday nights are usually our nights that's busy because a lot of people will say, oh, when I smoke hemp, it helps to, sober me up. I don't know if it's any scientific behind that, so I'm not putting that out there. But we do sell a lot of pre-rolls on Thursday and Friday nights, and Saturday nights, and people just buy them up. So
where do you see Hemp Source South in the next 5 to 10 years?
That's a great question. Next 5 to 10 years, I believe that we will probably have another location.
I don't know. Your wife kind of gave you the side eye. That the eye went up.
Yeah.
Talk about, buddy.
Another
location by yourself.
But he's not alone with that. Armin and Charles tell us that all the time.
Yeah.
Y'all need to go to this location.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, no.
but that's what I think. Also, and I maybe too early to say this, but not really. We've discussed, like when we're talking about the hemp creep.
Right.
That's
let me know about that, man.
Yeah,
let me know how that goes, man. I'm serious. I've been talking about that for a while, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna hit you for real because we talked about that with Charles and Army about moving that way, and that's coming.
Especially in a climate such as the Carolinas moving south. Y'all experience heat totally different than we do in the north. And their purpose for doing it in Louisiana because of after the storm, because it gets humid, it gets very hot down there, and the transferring of energy from the hemp creek, and when it does, it cools the house. So just imagine not even having to turn on your AC in Louisiana when it's 200 degrees, but the hemp creek absorbing so much heat, it's cooling off the house and transparent. So let me know, bro. Let me know about that, man. I'd like to be part of that, man.
Definitely, I'm gonna plug you in.
Because the hemp crate, like you were saying, crate is even pest resistant, fire resistant. The mayor, actually, former mayor in Asheville, his house is made of hemp crate. So the houses are there. It's just when you think about that, it also keeps your insurance costs low. It also about affordable housing.
Like, there you go, sis. That's what I'm saying. Hemp is in so many industries, or it can be, because people haven't touched it. But we need to get our people need to get our hands on it from an agriculture standpoint and also a manufacturing standpoint, and get ahead of the game just a little bit, because you already know. You know what I mean? We get to touch things last around here, son.
Yeah. I'm wondering with COVID, in terms of expansion, have you guys thought about expansion being without brick and mortar? Like, not necessarily having additional physical locations, what expansion could look like?
Yeah. So we have, it's different, right? So when you think of how everybody's like ordering on their phones and the apps and websites and all of that, it's easier now. I'll say that. I think, we got in so early when all that stuff was like new. It was hard.
And they wouldn't let us do anything.
They wouldn't let us do anything because it was cannabis. I do know that, one of the major malls, they had like little kiosks set up. When we first opened, I actually, was like, okay, what if I go to the mall and say, hey, this is who we are, we are doing this. And they were like, no, like, just shut us down. Like,
Wow.
No, we don't want that here. And then like 3 months later, 4 months later, they have these beautiful CBD kiosks. I'm like, what? Like, where did that idea come from?
They didn't know what they were
They
selling.
didn't, yeah. So, that was one of the things.
Did those people look different than you? The people in the kiosk?
Yeah, very much so.
But it's so funny.
Very different from me.
What's so funny about that? The young lady that started working there was one of our customers, right? She was one of our customers, and she started working there, but she used to send people to us.
She stole the secret sauce.
I know. I think
she stole the Mac sauce from y'all.
There you go.
Wow.
So yeah, it is, and you're right. Big brick and mortar sometimes can be, it is what it is. Like now, we were physically closed, but we were still taking orders on the phone. Instagram. Like we were like mailing out daily.
There you go.
Like we were going back and forth to the post office like crazy, to the point, the people at the post office knew who we were. Like it was like crazy.
Now you gotta keep the ball rolling, man.
Yeah, we had to, and we do have a very large space that we were still responsible for. But it has been a pivot, as I think as people of color, we've been pivoting all our lives, and we just
all our lives, man. Come on, man.
So,
it's more than one way to skin a cat out here, man.
Yeah. Exactly. So yeah, I mean, we had people calling from Maryland and DC and California all through this time, because I think in DC at one point they were not issuing medical marijuana cards, and some of the dispensaries they weren't even open.
Right.
And if a doctor's prescribing you to get your card and you can't get your card, what do? But your anxiety is high. So we had people calling us from Maryland and DC ordering. So it was like, hey, let's. This is, unfortunately, we had to go through this pandemic to see how to pivot even harder, and and just helping people. Yeah, because that's what we're doing. We're helping people.
Yeah. Soon you have us calling from Connecticut too. We're gonna be hollering at you. Yes, Dane.
Definitely.
Yeah, Stephanie Massey Streeter actually put a comment up, said that the hemp butter is delicious.
And guess who makes it? I tell you
something, Leslie. I'm gonna have to make a request to have you make some hemp marshmallows or something, man.
Oh man.
Now I will say, so the Rice Krispie treats, a lot of people that get them, they prefer them with more marshmallow because the marshmallow soaks up the.
Yeah. You see it,
That's what I'm talking about, Les.
Well, we have your social media handle. Get.
So we are at the Hemp Source CLT South. That is on Facebook as well as Instagram.
Nice.
We are also on Twitter, but not as much. I know I need to get better. But all of our social media handles all at the Hemp Source CLT South.
And give the website also.
So our website is thehempsourceusa.com. I will say, for those that want to order on the website, when you order, it comes straight from the headquarters, and then they'll send it out from you there. We are working on so that we can get people to order and do a pickup location. We have a lot of people that wanted, because everybody is in this mode now, right? Everybody's used to going online and pick it up.
Curbside is I'm getting a little used to curbside myself right about now.
Yeah. So we're getting to that point. Things are opening up more, like I said. One thing during COVID, I will say this real quick. We actually had we called them ride paper, like, because we're in agriculture, we had our freedom papers. Because the state was shut down, and so.
But you were able to move around.
Yeah, so we had our freedom papers to come
to
come and check on the store. So, and that's what a lot of people, like, we have people always say, I want this flower. And I'm like, oh, we don't have it anymore. You know, it's out of season. And, you know, just explaining to people, you know, you don't get watermelon in the wintertime. And if you do, you shouldn't eat it. You know, like
Right.
You know, this is it's a seasonal thing. So yeah. So those are all our social media handles. Definitely you can check us out, call us, email us, Charlotte at thehempsourceusa.com. And our phone number is 980-613-8590.
Nice. So if we wanted to order directly from you guys, it's best to go through your social media.
Yeah, you can just
Or just call us.
Call us,
Okay.
social media. Always hit us up on social media. I'm on there all the time. I try to shut down at around 7, but that never works. But
The life of an
we are-
entrepreneur.
Yeah.
The life of an entrepreneur. Well, thank you. We appreciate you joining us this evening.
Thanks for having us,
Thank you,
brothers.
guys.
We greatly appreciate it.
Appreciate y'all,
Can't wait to
man.
pick up the phone and start calling us.
That's right. Very soon, son, because I want some soap. I want a few things, man. I'm gonna make a little shopping list for y'all, bro. That's what I'm saying. That one. Hold on. I think I seen it. I can show you the one I want. Hold on, son.
I'm here.
Give me 1 second.
How y'all like to show their order?
I already know what I want. That's why I asked, like, how do we order from you directly?
Yeah,
So,
I seen the soap in there.
I'm intrigued by the subscription, the mystery box.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'll show you real quickly. This is what it comes. It comes like this. This is the box. And then on the side.
When you see that, you know you got something good when you open it.
And then when you order your first order, you get a free T-shirt that says "Keep calm." It's not it's him. So yeah. So oh yeah. And then he's the model. So
It's not marijuana. I like that.
Oh,
so your first box.
Man, y'all got some nice stuff. You got Himalayan soap salt, coffee scrubs.
Yes, the bath soak is amazing. Like I said, Harmony.
Huh?
So yeah.
I said Robin's in heaven. Robin's like,
yo, son, they got bath bomb. You ever had a bath bomb?
It's on the website.
Yo, bath bomb is some shit, yo. It's some different shit right there, bro.
We got you.
This is the beard oil. We have our beard oil. That's amazing. Now I will say,
there we go.
If your barber ever like pushes you back too far, oh yeah, that's
there we go.
It is.
Get your soap in there.
A lot of people use it to help their hairline grow back. The hemp oil.
Hey, I tell you what, baby. Hey, you better get LeBron on that list.
we got
Yo, you stupid, Zay. Put some on the top of his head, right there on the top.
Oh, man.
Call us, LeBron. Call us.
We got
Shit, you need to sponsor him, man.
Expeditiously.
Well, thank you again. We appreciate you guys.
Can I say?
Yeah, man. Appreciate you guys coming on, man.
Sure, good.
So I'm sorry. So Rob was talking about this is the bath bomb.
Right.
And then this is another Hemp Source exclusive.
Yeah.
We have
What the hell is that?
perfume and cologne.
Fat Shout Gabriella. Wake Forest.
So this is infused perfume for the ladies. We also have a men's line.
You can see the flower.
Yeah.
You'll see the leaf. Yeah, son.
That's
so
serious.
yeah, so this is amazing. A lady came, she smelled it, she bought all four.
We
that
just
I had
got
them.
them. We had just got them. She was like,
wow.
She took all four. So those are.
So y'all rocking and roll. Y'all rocking and rolling over there, man. God bless you, man. I pray all works out for y'all. I pray that the next 5 to 10 years is even better than the first 2.
For sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I can see this really going somewhere because there's so much you can do with hemp, man. So much you can do with it, man.
For sure.
And I think it's gonna change our lives, man. But it's good seeing yo Qua. Salute to you, King.
You already know what it is, brother.
Blessings to you, Miss Leslie. Blessings to you, man.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it. Thank
And
you.
Thanks,
Thank y'all.
guys.
Take care.
that's about it, man. Peace.
All right.
Oh man. So now we all got to get our orders together.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
getting
man. Gotta order my
think-
stuff tomorrow.
Leave it on the screen though for those that are tuning in. Again, their social media handle, the Hemp Source Charlotte, at the Hemp Source CLT South, if you want to purchase a product.
B Lows, good looking B Lows on this little meeting there, man, and bringing them to the forefront, man. Shout outs to you, man.
For sure.
Real dope
Man,
couple.
let's talk about some recent,
Challenging topics.
yeah, some recent things that have transpired this week in the wonderful world of the U.S. So I don't know if you guys saw, conservative Tim Scott said that the U.S. is not a racist country, and Kamala Harris had the ability to dispute that. And Kamala Harris kind of co-signed it. She said the U.S. is not a racist country. So I want to ask you guys: is it? Zane, is the U.S. a racist country, Zane?
Of course, it's always been that way. And it will continue to be that way until we come up with the proper legislation and people that are not in power that's gonna just sit down, lay down, and go for anything that a lot of these other people say to have influence. So just like the last, I think 2 episodes that we've had, we was talking about, just the injustice of so many of the different things that's going on. So
Right.
now it's like a whirlwind, man. It's like a tornado of different stuff. And for that person to co-sign what the other person said, it's like a slap in the face. Like, prime example, like, okay, when you continuously have black women, men gunned down, children gunned down, and you don't take the initiative to step in and try to intervene and change these laws or retrain these cops, it shows that they don't care. So America will always be a racist country. Point blank, period.
Yeah,
Unfortunately.
I was disappointed in Kamala because I felt like, what is it? That they threw her the alley oop. She had the alley oop to stand on her square and really, really make a statement. And I think she whiffed on that one. I'm not surprised by Tim Scott's comments because I think that
He's typical cool.
Yeah, we live in a country though where people still don't acknowledge that systemic racism exists. So the fact that they don't even acknowledge that systemic racism exists, how are we going to get to a point where people acknowledge that the country is racist? And I think that they shy away from that also because what does it mean to say big bad United States America is a racist country? Do they want to be portrayed on that global stage as being racist? But if you really think about it, pandemic aside, the last year or so has really highlighted just how prevalent racism is in this country. And we look to our leaders, especially I think Kamala, we look to her because part of her getting into office was her running on being African American, Indian and Jamaican woman. Like we felt like, we have somebody in there who would be able to articulate some of our concerns and some of our needs. And I think what she ended up doing is having to kind of pander to the larger audience. That's one of the things that I noticed that the politicians, especially politicians of color, they're up against is that when they get these positions, they're no longer, when they're campaigning on behalf of people of color. And they have all these different movements. But when they get into office, they become politicians for the larger America. And sadly, the larger America, we're not represented nearly as much as what we need to be represented when it comes to having these dialogues. Yeah, Rob, you want to say something?
Yeah, domestic terrorism is white supremacy. If you look at what the fuck they do, period. Shoot up malls, shoot up spas, shoot up schools, and then the culprit turns out to be Caucasian. Now, I'm not making this I won't make it a race thing. It's already made a race thing. From the inception of this country, it's been about who and what and how you look. So it hasn't changed. It's not going to change, I think, until when we meet racism faced head to head all the time. Anytime you come across someone who looks at you in a demeaning way, look at him right back in the same fashion, man. That's how I look at it, bro.
You know what concerns me about that though, because then that really made, when I heard that statement, that made me really believe like we're really far away from getting any reparations. Like
reparations, you know why? Reparations, people want reparations to look so tangible as if we've just hit the lotto.
Get a check, yeah.
Let me tell you something. This pandemic has allowed reparations to be landing right on your doorstep. The opportunity that you have to reinvent yourself and create, just like look at what we're doing. We created this platform to have local people come in here and talk about themselves and the things that they're doing. That's the reparation where we can have a media line of information that we can disseminate to the people about positive shit, about true stuff, about things that's really happening. So now we have this dialogue going on. We can take it back, chop it up, and now we can disseminate it amongst our peers and come up with something.
You know what?
Come up with a hemp store. Come up with whatever it is. You know what I'm saying?
You know what makes that difficult though is that we there's already history in terms of what we can compare and contrast it to, right? So if we looked and we've seen that other groups have been compensated in other ways, we're going to be looking and we're going to be saying, you know, if they got something tangible, how come we're not getting something tangible? And I think
that's our problem, man.
But that's what I was going to say. It's a hard concept to get somebody to move away from something tangible because right. You know, you're asking people to expand their thought process and to be intuitive and right. have vision and stuff like that versus here's a $50,000 check. Not everybody is wired with that level of intelligence and you know they have that know-how and they're not built that way. There's some people that just be like, oh great, reparations is $500. I got a $400, $1 for each year of slavery. You know, like and it's sad that that's what people's mindset is. But when you already have seen somebody else get something tangible, to get people to shift and move away from it is going to be really, really challenging.
It's difficult. Yeah, you can't teach an old dog new tricks, and some people are just stuck in their way.
Yeah. But you know what we need? We need our scholars. We need the people that, you know, like the Michael Eric Dysons, the Cornel West, people like that to lead the charge on the conversation to begin to get people to expand their minds and to think about what reparations could look like if it's not something tangible, you know. Right. And those are the conversations that I haven't heard them having yet. But those are the conversations that honestly that need to be had. Right. Guys, and you was gonna say something else?
I think a lot of them conversations are going on daily, if not even while we speak right now. There's you know, prominent brothers and sisters having them type of talks. Only thing about it, how they wisen up. They don't have these talks out in the open anymore because you got to be real leery about who you let in or what you let in. Because if you do that, if you already show somebody your hand, it's like playing poker or playing spades. You already show somebody your hand, then they already know what you know. Right. So a lot of times you got to do this stuff behind closed doors. Everything can't be public as how it was before. But I do get you know what you're saying though, Sha.
Yeah. No, it's a fact. Yo, Rob, you spot on. The opportunities are there, but are people willing to be able to take those opportunities? Do people have the ability to think abstract? You know, and I don't know. I'm throwing it out there. It's a rhetorical question. You know,
there's so much bureaucratic bullshit that happens in this country. One brother pointed out this: for a black man to sell tube socks for 125th Street, he would have to go through so much red tape.
Mm-hmm.
So much red tape just to sell tube socks. But immigrant could come here from Senegal and be in front of the Louis Vuitton store selling fake Louis Vuittons and won't get fucking, and nobody won't touch him. He'll be out there in the snow and the cops will move, and he right in front of Louis Vuitton selling fake Louis Vuitton.
Well, what do you attribute that to?
There's something going on bureaucratically when you come over here from somewhere else, and we're here all. We just live in a screwed up society, man.
Yeah. Well, hopefully the backlash that Kamala's facing as a result of this, next time she won't fumble the ball, because to me that was an alley-oop for her to bring it home, and I think she could have did more to hammer that point home.
Yep.
Switching gears, did you guys see this week that Joe Biden had, I guess, his first joint meeting of Congress? And he talked about the George Floyd Policing Act. He's saying that he's trying to have it passed by May 25th. So
yeah,
some of the specifics of it, just to give people like a really, really quick and dirty on it. The bill's it's already been approved by Democrats. It aims to ban chokeholds and no-knock warrants at the federal level and would tie state and local police funding to those departments, barring the practices. It seeks to weaken so-called qualified immunity, which shields officers from many civil lawsuits and aims to make it easier to prosecute police.
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts about this? Do you think this is going to actually get through Congress? It
should, man. You ban the chokeholds, you ban the no-knock warrants. That's the thing that took out the young lady out there, the no-knock warrants.
Breonna Taylor.
You're creating create a duty to intervene with police. Well, if they see another officer tripping, that other officer will intervene and stop the police brutality. So you pretty much create a good cop, bad cop in that situation. It's also a police registry where if a police creates any kind of misconduct or infraction, those misconducts and infractions will follow him to his next jurisdiction. So he can't leave one jurisdiction and go somewhere else and start anew. It follows him. And there's also a thing called unqualified immunity, where if any crime is committed by an officer, he is charged to the full extent of the law.
Yeah, Rob, remember we were talking about...
I hope it passes.
Remember we were talking the other week, and I was talking about the private insurance?
Yeah.
And police officers. I was suggesting to Rob that how come we don't have police officers have to get their own private insurance? So that way when they out whooping ass, their insurance rates go up.
They make somebody up.
Yeah, and then after a while, you beat so many people up or committed so many wrongful deaths, you uninsurable. You never be able to police again.
For police reform, if this does pass, let's hopefully it makes some change. I mean, there's enough things in there stiff enough to make a police officer think twice before he jumps out.
You know what probably one of the biggest holdups is, why conservatives are a little bit reluctant to move with this version of the bill? Those police unions are big endorsers. They when election time come around, they give endorsements and they get their members to vote on behalf of the conservatives. What do you say, Zane?
Goes back to what I said, my last statement prior to this. Shouldn't take 50 damn years for stuff like this to happen. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I definitely agree with both of you brothers. I definitely hope that this bill gets pushed through, because on the same token, we still got 3 more out there that need to get justice served to them. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
As far as going back to this George Floyd situation. So we still got 3 others out there, man. So, and then on top of that, it's no telling if that stuff's going to get prolonged and drawn out to next year or whatever it's going to be. But at the end of the day, man, something has to happen, because this year right now, like people are maxed out. People been maxed out for years, but especially last year with this
shit. Yeah, you're right.
People maxed out, man. And at the end of the day, it's gonna come to like people just gonna start going berserk in the street. I'm talking about black people.
They already.
Yeah, I mean, no. I'm talking about, and it's not even a word, berserker. They're gonna be going berserker out in the street. You know what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying, though, man. People tired of this stuff, yo.
Berserker, yeah, I like that.
Berserker.
Yeah, I was reading my son's page, and I see my boy Jasmine in the comments when we had Jasmine on the show, and he was saying that he was talking about how come Joe Biden just didn't sign an executive order the same way he signed an executive order as it relates to Asian hate crimes, and I get it, but here's what I was saying.
It makes sense though.
Well, here's the thing though, think about it. and I want you to think about it from this standpoint. Donald Trump signed a ton of executive orders, and the reason why he signed those executive orders is because he figured he wouldn't be able to get it through by way of legislation. What was the first thing that Joe Biden did when he got into office, if y'all remember? He signed a bunch of executive orders doing what? Overturning all of the executive orders that Donald Trump
said, yeah.
That Donald Trump. So all of it is, it's like a toothless tiger. It's, you know, it's you putting it on paper, but how much weight does it have if somebody else could come along, the next person, and be like, well, you know what? Yeah. So the reason why I think they're trying to go by way of legislation is because they want it to be a law, and they figure that if a person does get in office that's opposed to it, it'll be a little bit more complicated to actually repeal that law rather than the executive order. Because, like I said, the executive order is just that, you know, and that's why a lot of the things that Donald Trump was able to do, he did by way of executive order. But it makes you really, you should, you know, if, I don't know Donald Trump, I don't know what his thought process is, but I would evaluate my presidency by saying that if the next person that came into office behind me was able to undo most of the shit that I did just by signing something, that tells me about like really how much I actually did. You know,
American policy for it, but that's
collaboratively.
Yeah.
You know, collaboratively. While we speaking on laws, here's something crazy. Oklahoma, and Zane brought this to my attention. Oklahoma grants immunity to drivers that run over protesters.
Grants immunity. That's some bullshit right there. So.
Zane, good. Zane, what do you say about this one? Is this Berserker than the last one?
This is Berserker. Now, see the thing. Now, look. This is the flip side to it, right? Okay, say if you have minorities out there and they marching for injustice or whatever, and okay, you got a person that's in the clear to run them over, right? Because they protest. Right?
That don't even sound right.
No, it don't. Now, the first thing that everybody should go in their head is that, okay, yeah, we do have the freedom of speech. We have the freedom to protest and all that other stuff, right? But say on the flip side, say if it's a minority that runs over a Caucasian male or female, do you think that's gonna be? You're gonna see how the pendulum swing, right?
Does he get immunity? Right. Does he get immunity?
You see what I'm saying? So with them, so with that even being a thought, it's crazy. It's crazy, man. And right there, go ahead.
You said so. You saying that if it's some white supremacists protesting and somebody run over white supremacists, what does that mean?
Oh, I know what it means.
Oh, man.
I know what it means. But a white supremacist can roll over a minority that's protesting, and they're gonna get probably a slap on the wrist. But if the pendulum switches, like, you know, if stuff switches around, it's gonna be to the max. You know what I'm saying?
Everybody had immunity. I thought everybody running over, you get to run over whatever protest.
No. They saying that now, but when it happens, it's gonna be a whole nother climate. They saying that now, like it's like it's some video game. But I'm telling you what, when that stuff starts happening, because you got people that's in these extremist groups that's sitting back, whether they listening to the radio on their phone, they ready to hop off the porch for that. You know what I'm saying? A lot of them might even hopped off, busted out the house before the person even finished the damn sentence on the news feed. They saw them little keywords. They're like, okay, let's gather them up. But I'm telling you what,
jump off, Jimmy.
Right? See, but that stuff right there, that's something right there that'll be one of the major catalysts that could start a civil war. Just something so small as that.
Yo, Rob, what you think about that?
This is a bunch of bullshit. You know? How you pass a law that grants immunity to drivers who hit protesters? So what are protesters going to do when they go out there? They got to look over their shoulder to make sure they about to get mauled down by a white van. But you know, there is also a bill that makes it a misdemeanor to obstruct in public streets. That means you can't. I don't know. This Oklahoma's weird.
Man, you know what? I just want to go back for a second because we was talking about this. Just popped in my head, and we didn't put it as one of the topics for tonight. But we're saying the U.S. is not a racist country at all. Did you guys see the clip of the dude where he was talking about when you talk about slavery, you got to talk about the good parts of slavery?
No,
I saw that.
Yo, they interjected and it was like, excuse me, what good parts? What do you mean? What good? He was like, when you teach and talk about slavery, you should talk about also the good parts of slavery. So that answers the question if the U.S. is a racist country or not. If we talking about the good parts of slavery.
Good parts of slavery.
See, fellas, but that's another slap in the face. It looks like the stuff that the media is perpetuating to allow us to see. It's like they doing it on purpose to be funny. Because imagine how much stuff the media don't let us see. You see what I'm saying? As far as stuff that's like major.
And we need to see.
Right. So now the stuff that we look at and see is like clown news feeds. That's the stuff that they putting out right in front of us to show us that, hey, it's all a game. It's all fun and games.
It's all program.
Well, one thing for sure, you know what I did see, and I hope your brothers had a chance to see it. The Honorable Louis Farrakhan's speech at DMX funeral. I watched that and I was like, God damn, that was a hell of a speech. Like I was moved by it. So I was shocked when I heard days later that, well, obviously FUBU founder Damon John, he was moved by it also, but I was shocked when I heard days later that he got all this backlash for just saying that the speech that DMX gave was great. I mean, like, I know people have issues as it relates to Louis Farrakhan, but they really made Damon John walk back all his comments about him.
This is what happens consistently like a month. There's always an energy that's always watching that will point out any agreement you have with the minister. Any agreement. So there's someone sitting there just waiting like, I just need him to say one thing about Farrakhan. This mother nuts. Like, what is it that this man actually says that if you agree with it, they want to question whether you're an anti-Semite? Now, what the fuck is an anti-Semite? Pardon me for cursing.
Well, you know,
anti-Semite.
You know something? You would think that the speech had nothing to do with anything other than DMX and DMX life and, you know, the Bible and so I don't know how people drew from his past and or comments that they believe he said in the past and connected that with DMX's funeral. So basically what I'm saying is that nobody should ever endorse or agree with anything that Minister Farrakhan has to say. That was my takeaway from that.
And that's 100% preposterous, because if there's anything that the minister has said to black people that have made black people go out and defame and antagonize and hurt and kill anybody, no. The man has only been teaching you your history of who you are and your people and where you come from and why you should be doing things for yourself, because that's what was taught to him. He's teaching the same lessons that Malcolm was taught. So now everybody have Malcolm X too.
Yeah.
That's why I don't get. It's like, you know, they blame him for hating Jews, but they always put the emphasis on the entire nation. Like, what has the nation done to the Jewish community other than put out whatever truth that is that they know about the Jewish community and letting the world see it for yourself? But because Jews controls the media, Jews control just about everything under the goddamn sun, they don't want to be looked at as someone who's not, as they say, the chosen person.
Yeah, they got Damon John together quick though.
Real quick, son. That's the way they got Nick Cannon ass together too.
Zane, did you hear Farrakhan's speech?
No, I didn't get to hear it, but I could just imagine, because Farrakhan is a highly intelligent, respected elder. And a lot of times, plenty of times, if not every time, when Farrakhan makes a speech, the media will take out certain jargon or verbiage and they take it out of context.
Yeah, twist it up.
They always want to loop it. They always want to remix it. And I'm glad that there's not one time that Farrakhan didn't address that. Whenever the media said something and you know it was for the world to see or read or you know look at on TV, Farrakhan always came back and he always addressed whatever situation that he talked about. He doesn't just let it just go and just let people think whatever they want to think about him. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's scary to me though, because I'm like, if you believe that he said something in the past, you know, that was anti-Semitic, but you snatch that at thin air, him talking about DMX family in the Bible, and you try to connect those two. Like that man said nothing. He said nothing as it relates to anything.
Anything about any right.
And it was just a beautiful speech. It was a tribute to DMX. So I was surprised. And you know, it makes me think like Damon John, like, man, you know, like be walking on eggshells. I wonder. I don't know if the folks at Shark Tank told him to backpedal on it. I don't know. You know, he's concerned about his other business ventures, but he cleaned that up real quick.
Yeah,
real quick. So shout out to Damon.
And he didn't say nothing. All he said was that was a powerful message from the minister. Hashtag DMX funeral.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck? What's that? Like,
but you know what that means, fellas? That means when you in a certain tax bracket and you around certain people that have influence and more power than him, that means, quote unquote, Damon John stay in your place. That's what it means.
Yes, flaws and bias, right? Man, New York is talking about fully opening on July 1st.
Don't do it.
You say no, Rob? Don't do it?
Don't do it, man. I ain't in no rush to go back, man. I just tell people, man, be careful. Be careful being out there in them crowds. I know you want to get back to the ball game. I know you want to get back to the club. You want to get back to the normal life. I do too. But I just know that we just live in a place where you have to be cautious on top of cautious. So be cautious as you go back into the world. You know, try to limit your crowd participation. I mean, a lot of the things that I like to be a part of do draw large crowds. But you know, I'm tending to think differently and trying to bring, I guess, the party to my house more than we go to the party. So look, if I'm not going in and out, you know what I'm saying? You know, I'm still wearing my mask. I go certain places. Might be wearing my mask in 2025. So
yeah, it's I think we got to be cautious, but I do think it's time. Like they have to. I think they have to. Because
I gotta get things going.
Because so many industries are taking a hit. Like I read a story that also where they were saying like the transit system suffering also. But we all know New York City Transit always trying to figure out a way to raise the how much it costs and the tolls and everything and whatever. New York is always trying to figure out a way to generate revenue. But so many businesses took a hit. There's so many people suffering from depression as a result of being cooped up in the house. So many people who have been taken away from their regular lives. You know, businesses have been redefined as a result of this.
Not to cut your wisdom, but it's funny you say that. And I didn't bring this up when we had our guests. But people are losing their jobs, right? But the production of hemp has gone up 25% all across the globe.
The use of it too, probably.
The use and the production has gone up, man.
Yeah. So
people are going through shit. You know?
Yeah. It's to me, I think it's time, and I think that people have to do it. They just have to be cautious and take the necessary precautions while they out engaging in these activities. Zane, what do you think? Is it time to reopen? Fully reopen?
Nope. I was always thinking maybe mid-August, September. You know what I'm saying? Because it's way too much it's way too much stuff going on right now. And then, you know, but yeah, a lot of businesses did lose a lot of money. And when you think of New York, you think of what first?
Tourism.
Tourism.
Yeah, they want tourism.
That's their main dollars right there. You know what I'm saying? So New York, just prime example, because not to speak on it too long, but that's why Florida was so gung ho to get their stuff rolling again. Because when you think of tourism, you think of New York, you think of Florida, you think of California. But back on New York, it's just, man, like I tell you what, I mean, as much stuff that been going on with the protests and all that, and marching and all this other stuff. I mean, you might as well say that New York always been back in motion since, you know, for the past several months. But the only thing about it now,
a lot of people moved out. A lot of people moved out of New York. So there are a lot of vacant. There are a lot of vacant apartments now.
Well, now, the only thing where it gets tricky now, I don't know what the numbers is, but a lot of these people in New York took the vaccination. Now, if they open it back up within the next couple of weeks or whatever, you're gonna have a high volume of people that didn't take the vaccination mingling with people that did take the vaccination. So once that happens, 9 times out of 10, it's gonna be something that's gonna morph out of that, and then we're gonna have another damn pandemic virus going on.
Well, they one of the things I think they're looking at doing is removing restrictions for capacity. You know, so for businesses that was only allowed to operate at 25%, you know, I'm sure they'll be happy to get back to 100%. I think they're aware and thinking that they probably got a decent amount of people that took the vaccine, and they know that their numbers in terms of people who haven't taken the vaccine is probably still pretty high also. But I think they're banking on herd immunity to kind of get them through it. And they know with summer coming around, they want to capitalize and get that tourism dollar.
Coming up.
You there, Zane? Did Zane freeze? Zane, you there?
He's delaying.
Oh yeah, he's in a delay. But yeah, they want to get that tourism dollar, man. That's what they want to do. They want to capitalize and get it. You know, so I think you know, I'm not opposed to doing it. Hopefully they do it safely. They do it safely and it's thoughtful. I know de Blasio said that he was definitely gung-ho for it, but I think Cuomo said he doesn't know. He has to see. But, you know, Cuomo and de Blasio are always engaged in a pissing contest. So, who knows?
Yeah.
Come on back, Zane. You good?
Come on back there, boy.
No, Zane's not good. On a lighter note, on a much lighter note, today, DJ Khaled's new album, Khaled, came out. You get a chance to listen to it, Rob? What'd you think of it?
There's a couple of joints on there. I like the Cardi B joint. I surprisingly like the Migos joint too. Not a big Migos fan.
About mumble rappers.
The collaboration with Migos and her was a nice little put together. Khaled did a wonderful job on that. There's a couple of other joints I like, but those two specifically, the Cardi B. I like the Lil Wayne joint at the beginning. That was all right.
Mm-hmm. With the Heart of the City sample from Jay-Z's Heart of the City. They said,
he did that. He did justice on that one. No, it's pretty much a Khaled production. Another one, as he would say. Pretty decent work, man. Pretty decent work. I can lead, you know, I'm not with the 21 Savage, Justin Bieber, and I can lead all that. I like the Drake joints, the Nas and Jay-Z joints, typical, but I like it too. You know what I really like though? Where You Come From, Buju Banton in Jamaica.
Yeah, that's hard.
That right there, I think that might be the sleeper of the album. Right?
Yeah, that's hard. Man, when I saw the track list, I was not excited. I was like, oh
yeah.
Like Little Baby on everything.
Yeah, Little Baby.
Little Baby. I like her too, but they're like on everything. But you know, I have to say, like I wasn't disappointed by it. I wasn't. I thought it was.
Yeah. I wasn't disappointed.
And I shared with you guys behind the scenes when I first heard the Nas and Jay song. I was underwhelmed by it. I was like, it's a good song, but I think my expectations when it comes to Nas and Jay-Z is that everything is supposed to be over the top. Crazy.
The video grabbed me.
I didn't even watch the video yet. I didn't even watch the video.
I seen this. That was my first introduction to it, is watching the video. The video was like, all right, these dudes they dressed up together. They in the same place. Okay, who got them together? What's going on here?
You say the Coinbase Scarface.
The Coinbase scarf.
The Coinbase Scarface. And Jay-Z had a line on it that was real slick where he said something like, we all get bands, but we don't march to the same or something.
Yep, to the same drums.
Yeah, I was like, oh, I know that's gonna go over a lot of people's head. Yeah. But yeah, honestly, my favorite joint is probably the Cardi joint. That's like my favorite. Cause I'm like, yo, whoever.
Cardi's borrowing it. Yeah, she's borrowing it right there.
That one for her, I'm like, yeah, they was in a bag when they wrote that one for her.
Yeah. She wrote. Whoever wrote that, it was her big paper that was hot. I like that.
Yo, it's a lot of production. It's a lot of production on there. Also, like popular samples. Like I said, the Jay-Z sample. He flipped. Justin Timberlake joint. I like Justin Timberlake with the remember Mary J. Blige and Ghostface.
Yeah. You heard the melody in that, right?
Yeah. I'm like, okay, all right. I see you flipping a lot of the same samples.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah, for sure. Cardi.
Yeah.
Or Cardi Ghost Rider came off. Somebody came the hell off because I was taking.
Right.
Yo, I brought it back. I did the flex joint. Was like, yo, hold on. She said, what? Bring that joint back to the beginning. The hook, everything. I'm like, yo, that's
Cardi's alleged Ghost Rider is her artist, Party Fontaine or something like that.
Yeah, that's Partisan Fontaine.
Partisan Fontaine.
And Partisan Fontaine is homegirl's boyfriend now, Meg Thee Stallion's boyfriend. They said.
Oh wow, that's gonna be a lot of dope. A lot of crazier lyrics coming out from Meg Thee Stallion. Watch.
I mean, I don't know. I just, the other thing with the album too is I was like, man, there's a lot of. I feel like Lil Baby's like on 3 songs. Is Jeremiah on like 2 or 3 songs?
I think Jeremiah's on the
first song.
Okay.
With Lil Wayne.
So who is Lil Baby's on like 3 songs, right? Somebody else is on like 3 songs too, I think.
Is it Rowdy Rich?
Now, Roddy Rich, I think, is on 1.
Post Malone is on there.
Yeah.
Bryson Tiller's on a couple, I think.
Hers on 3.
Big Sean is on 1.
The Big Sean joint is all right. A Boogie, Big Sean, Rick Ross.
Yeah, that was all right.
Yeah, that's all right. So he
was a good, it was like your part so it was a good feel album, yo. It was, man. I kind of enjoy going from track to track.
Yeah. Cali usually put together a decent body. He didn't need them old Drake songs though. Them old throwaways or whatever. Like, yo, these old Drake songs.
Drake is a winner, so you put Drake on fucking salad dressing. That nigga.
Yo, I'm like, yo, are those not old Drake songs?
Yeah, it was last year, I think.
Yeah, them old Drake songs. I'm like, yo, damn, just to say
Popstar. I think Popstar was last year.
And Grease, both of them are old. Those are Drake's throwaways. Like Drake probably was like, "Yeah, take these 2."
Throw those on there.
But overall, it's a solid album. Man, so I want to thank Hemp Source Charlotte for pulling up and giving us some information. Let's put back on the screen real quick in case people want to get in contact, so everybody can get in contact with them and support that that business, Black-owned business.
Black-owned business. Of course, man, if you're dealing with any anxieties or, just call them up, man. Reach out to them, man. They do great consultation. They got great products. They're good people. They're good-natured people. They're in a good environment. You'll enjoy talking to them. Reach out to them, man. Reach out to them, man.
What's up, Zane? What you want to say in closing? Yeah, for a second, your camera got berserker.
It got berserker. Hey man, thanks to everybody, all the new people that came in and viewed, the ones that's consistently with us throughout the weeks. We're going to continue to give y'all great content. We have some very special episodes coming up dealing with tech and injustice and more music and stuff like that. So y'all stay tuned, y'all.
Yeah, Rob.
Yo, man, I love y'all, man. I love everyone that's watching. Please keep supporting us, man. We're doing the best we can with this content. We're going to, like Zane said, we're going to bring some interesting people we can talk about. We're going to keep the airwaves open, keep it free, keep it live. Man, if there's anything y'all guys suggest y'all want us to interview, man, leave a comment, yo.
Yeah.
Like, subscribe, all that good stuff.
Yeah, we need for the new viewers. Make sure you you like, you comment, you subscribe, you share the video also with your friends, families, and neighbors. So on Monday we back at it. On Monday we got a live at 7 o'clock. We're going to be talking to Ozone AI. He's going to talk about how you can make money. Well, Linden. Sorry if I pronounced your name wrong, but he's going to be talking about Linden, how you can make money from your data. You know, just from being on your phone, which most of us are on our phone for a substantial amount of time every day anyway, how you can generate revenue from it. And then we're going to be recording an interview with a New York City police officer that's going to talk to us about community policing. And then next Friday, we have Legal Equalizer, which is an app, like Zane was saying. It's an app that's going to hopefully help us in terms of social justice. So we got a lot of big shows planned for everybody. If you didn't have a chance to check it out, go back, look at the special ed interview. We had special ed on Wednesday. Good discussion.
Great
Pull
discussion.
up on that. We had Billy Dan's a couple of weeks ago. So we working. On that note, we want to thank everybody for tuning in. Peace out.
Hey.
Have a berserker weekend.
Berserker.
No, a berserker.
Berserker weekend.
Peace.